Bing boing bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip. Hey guys, this is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. Everybody does have a story to tell. People often don't take the time to listen until now. Guys, it takes some sort of person to bring the world together to mourn. Some sort of person to bring the world together to wish a family well after there's a loss of one. To bring the world together to sing in unison songs that once upon a time ago were considered bad. You know, that's the devil talking. That's not good. Heavy metal, hard rock, the devil's worship music, right? That's what a lot of people said about Ozzy. I've even had people say to me, in comments and in emails that he was evil, that he did some horrible things. The horrible things that I know that Ozzy did, if they were horrible, happened a long, long time ago. As a musician, I don't see where he did anything wrong in expressing himself. We don't have to always like the music that people put out, or the artwork that people put out, or the movies that people put out. But there are some people that need it. They feed on it. It's what keeps them breathing. Do you know how many people wrote to me and told me that Ozzy Osbourne helped them out of the most darkest time in their life? That they felt accepted, that when they went to an Ozzy concert, they saw like-minded people. They felt like they belonged. They felt whole. Ozzy spoke to them just like Ozzy said the Beatles spoke to him when he was in jail, that he heard the Beatles song and he said, I don't care about anything. I just want to get on stage and just want to sing. That's what a gift is. A gift is something that is given and it doesn't cost anything, and it's enhancing you. It enhances your life. The music that Ozzy Osbourne left this world so that he can always be remembered and there can always be that message is a gift. The show, the Osbournes, we can still look at that and laugh. That's still hysterical, and we can still learn things and find things out on each episode that maybe we missed before. And maybe we'll get something out of a new song of Ozzy's that we've never heard, even though it's an older song, but just a little track on the album that we never paid attention to until now. Now it might speak to us about something else. This whole town of Birmingham looks like they got together and just shut everything down to honor their son, Ozzy Osbourne. The same people, though they're probably not alive, the same people that threw him in jail and said, you'll never amount to anything. Those people probably aren't around to watch him, go to his grave. But they watched him in his success. They were wrong. Ozzy had a lot to offer this world, right? Again, I was not an Ozzy Osbourne fan. I liked some of his songs. And to be honest, I'm sure that the songs that I like were his hits, right? Because I don't own an Ozzy album. I've never wanted to own an Ozzy album. But when I liked Ozzy was because of that stupid show. And that's when I got into a little bit of his music. When I appreciated him for the person he was. That would be the dad he was. The family man he was. The way he loved his wife. The vulnerability. That's the Ozzy that I was introduced to. And from there, I went backwards. And I learned about Ozzy's career. Not much, because again, Ozzy wasn't part of the soundtrack of my life. But he was part of the soundtrack of a lot of people's lives, right? And look at the mourning. Look at Sharon. Look at his wife. His wife, so devastated. His family, so devastated. These kids, these adults, these grandchildren. This larger-than-life dad, grandpa, husband that they had, now they have the memories of him. They'll look in the mirror and they'll catch glimpses of their dad in themselves. They'll act a certain way and realize, oh, that was one of dad's actions. Boy, that feels like dad, you know? The gift that Ozzy gave the public, one thing, right? The gift that Ozzy gave his family, something completely different. Look at the life they lived. Even Ozzy, at his last concert, he tells the fans, thank you for giving me the lifestyle. All of us are up here because you've given us this lifestyle. Thank you for that. From the bottom of his heart, he says, thank you for that. This was a hard guy when he was growing up in Birmingham. You know, his dad beat him to be tough. Ozzy, I heard things about Ozzy coming home after being bullied in school and crying, and his dad just finishing the act when he got home, to the point that Ozzy really didn't talk. He kept to himself. He wanted to disappear. He tried to unalive himself. His dad found him and beat the hell out of him again. Ozzy quit school. He was just going to be basically a nobody, just somebody pushing to get through the end of the day, get his pay, go home, do what he's got to do, and start all over again until he got arrested. And it was because of that arrest that he heard the Beatles for the first time, according to myth, in a cell block from a deputy's radio. And that's when he got hooked. And all he wanted to do was get up on stage. And when he did get up on stage, all of the silence that he kept inside of him came out in a screaming nature, in a way of getting back, in a way of taking a stand, in a way of being proud, in a way of speaking, so that other people wanted to hear what he had to say. Other people wanted to watch him on stage. Other people wanted to imitate him. Other people wanted to be him. The guy that nobody liked. The guy that didn't even like himself enough that he wanted to unalive himself. That guy. Look at what he did. This is why I say to people, scenery always changes. You just got to hang on. There's a surprise at every corner if you're open to it. There's gifts for us in this lifetime that are meant specifically for us in this lifetime. Him being locked up in that cell and hearing that music was his gift. And with that, he gave us all gifts of his music, of what he had to say, of his story, of his life, of his challenges, of his accomplishments, of his fears, of his regrets, his happiness. He gave us that. And we have that forever in the songs that will continue to be forever. Ozzy Osbourne made a difference when other people said he was nothing, when other people said he was bad news. You know how many people the guy probably kept alive on his music? How many people felt connected, like they belonged? That's the biggest gift. Because in a video that I started about 3.5 years ago, I said all people want is to feel like they matter. Everybody wants to matter. Ozzy, he had a voice, he had words, he gave a place for those people that didn't matter, who felt just like him. All of a sudden they mattered. And there were other people like them. And they all mattered together. And they all celebrated the music of Ozzy. Look at all these people. One man brought all these people together. That's a gift. That's amazing in this world. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. God bless Sharon and the kids. This is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. Everybody does have a story to tell, but nobody takes the time to listen until now. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip.